Hello again. Alright, now that our Duckman is basically finished, let's work on getting a weapon into his hands. So we're going to go into the blueprints folder. We're going to need a new folder, and this will be what holds our item data. Now we're going to have other items, so in case you want to add like a health tonic and maybe a grenade later on, we'll just make everything in here. So we are going to need a blueprint class of an actor, and this will be our BP underscore base item. The reason we're using it like this, and then we'll do a base weapon that's a child of this, is because when we do our interaction system, we'll check to see if it's a base item that we're picking up and blah blah blah. So all the different details can be held here. So let's open that up real quick, and all we need to add into here is a static mesh and a skeletal mesh. So this way we can have visual items in the world once it's placed, and then they can go pick it up or whatever they're going to do. For the static mesh, we'll leave it on block all for now. So if we right click, we can create a child blueprint class of this. We want to create this as our BP underscore base weapon, and this will, so basically it works kind of like a layered system. You have a base layer that covers some of the data, then you have another layer that has more into different branching paths of data. So this will hold all this stuff according to our weapon. We'll do another one that's basically a consumable, another one that's like a throwable, etc., etc. So from our base, let's just go ahead and create a new folder, and this will hold our weapon data. We'll move our base weapon class into here. And so we're going to need a few things for our weapon. So we're going to need, under this blueprint folder, we can set up an enumeration to list out the available weapon types, and we can use this list to then later adjust the animation on our character. So we'll create an enumeration E underscore weapon list. We'll open that up. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. So we have our pistol. We'll have a, what would be next? We'll just say rifle. Then a shotgun, sniper, and grenade launcher. Now you want to make sure you don't have any spaces in here. Enumerators don't work very well with spaces. Didn't register an error, but it would cause issues later on. I believe it would. I don't know. Don't quote me on that now. I can't. No, I'm not sure. Alright, now we got the weapon list. Now we can create one more enumeration. And this will be our E underscore ammo type. This way we can have different pools of ammo for our character. That's the other items that we can pick up, is we'll pick up items. Or if we find another one of these weapons, then we'll check to see if the character has one of those, and if it does, then it just adds ammo. So we can do ammo type. So we're just going to do a few basic ones. So we'll have, let's see, 9mm for the pistol and the rifle probably. I guess we could do 5.56, 7.62mm. We'll just say 7.62. That'll be for the rifle. And then we'll have shells for the shotgun. And then grenades for the launcher. Save everything real quick. Now we can right click and create under blueprint you will find a structure, and what a structure is it's basically a grouping of variables that can be moved around. So we will set a structure that will be S underscore weapon info. So we'll double click and open this up, and we're just going to go ahead and add a few. We can always delete the ones we don't need. So for the first one, we will need our weapon ID. I'm just going to list them all on this side, and then we'll go through on this side in order to set it up. So the weapon ID, then we'll have an ammo type used. Then we need to know what class it is. Actually, we don't need the class. So ammo type, let's see, fire rate, so how fast we can fire between shots. Let's see. It's current clip size. It's max clip size. Oh, we can just put max clip. Let's see, we'll have a firing range, so depending on... So a sniper rifle you would want to reach a good distance, a pistol you might not want so much, and a shotgun you would want to be kind of short burst, so we could have that. And then this will be its pushback, basically how much force each bullet applies to it. So for the weapon ID up top, we will set this to a weapon list. Yes. Ammo type is ammo type. The fire rate is a float. The current clip is an int. Max clip also int. The range is a float. And the pushback will also be a float. So when you're using line traces and stuff, it's easier to use floats in order to figure out how far you're going to multiply to get, because then if it well, you'll see. So that's looking decent. For now, we can always add to it in a bit if we need to. So if we go into our base weapon, we can add that variable of weapon info. And that'll be our weapon, info struct. And then now we can just access that right here from inside the weapon. So let's set up our weapon. So we'll right click and we're going to create a child blueprint class of this. We don't want to duplicate it, we want another child blueprint. So BP underscore pistol. Oh wait, I just thought of another thing that needs to go in that struct. We will need its fire animation, and this will be an anim montage. We will come back and forth between this, because sure enough, I'll remember other stuff. Pistol. Where'd you go? I never opened you. Okay. Right click, create child blueprint, and this will be our BP underscore rifle. Right click, child blueprint, BP underscore shotgun, and we'll just do those three for now, just to get the point across. So I am using this, where did it go? This military weapons dark pack. Someone did post in the comments that they believe it is free, so you should be able to go find it on the Fab Marketplace or Unreal Marketplace. If not, there are other options, but I'm just going to use these for now. And since it is a skeletal mesh, I'm going to go find the mesh that I want to use, and then just pop it into that slot, just like that. Then we can go to this BP self, and that's where we can find its default data, and we'll just set up so it's a pistol, 9mm. The fire rate, this is basically how much time between each shot. So for the pistol, we'll go 0.45 seconds. Current clip, max clip, we'll say 15. This is how many bullets can go in its magazine. I know, clip, magazine, I use them interchangeably. I know there's a difference, I just don't care. The range for this one, we'll say 1500. Pushback, we'll say 500 for now. And we don't have a fire animation set up just yet, but we will. So let's go find our next one. Rifle, skeletal mesh, and then it's right there. Set up its data. This one's a rifle. It uses 7.62. Its fire rate is, I think I used 0.15 and it was pretty nice. Max clip will say 32. Also 1500. Pushback 7. No, it's got smaller pushback. Let's see. Is it? Let's say 400. Why not? And then we'll set up another fire animation for it later. Now the shotgun. Skeletal mesh. Establish that it is indeed our shotgun be? Hello. So it is a shotgun. It uses shells. Its fire rate is 0.65. Max clip is 7. Pump action. Let's say, yeah, 7 for now is fine. Its range is 1,000, but its pushback also 1,000 for now. We'll refactor these numbers later on when we get to actually shooting people in the face. Alright, so let's save everything. Alright, let's go into our player blueprint, and we need to establish our weapons wheel. So over here on the variables, I'm going to set a new one and call it weapon wheel, weapon list, whatever you want to call it. And it will be a class base weapon. Class reference. You want to make sure it's a class reference. I got this purple, not the blue. A blue is for an object that's already spawned into the world, and a purple is for when you are going to need to spawn that into the world. Now we are also going to need to turn this into an array so that we can hold multiple weapons. So under variable type, we will set this down to array. And now you'll see when we have our weapon wheel, we can add to it, and we can pick our weapons. Huzzah and huzzah. Gonna delete all those for a moment. So we will create a new function because we're going to need something to actually spawn the weapon. So let's create a new function, and this will be our spawn weapon function. Yeah. So we are going to get our weapon wheel, and we are going to get a copy. So we need to be able to tell which one of these we are actually trying to spawn. So we're going to right click this one and promote it to a variable and be weapon selected. So we'll be able to adjust this number later on, and then whatever number it is, that's the one that'll get, and then we can spawn it from there. So we will spawn actor from class. The class will be from our weapon wheel of the weapon we have selected. Now our spawn transform, we are going to get mesh, socket transform. Get the socket transform of our mesh, which is our main character's body. Now what we will need to do is move this back, because since we have different weapons, we may need to spawn it into a different socket depending on, like a rifle might go in one socket and a pistol might go in another. So what we're going to do is we are going to get the defaults from our class that we have selected, and you'll see we got our weapon info struct. Then we can break that open in order to determine what our weapon ID is. So we'll move this here, and we're going to do, from the socket name, we are going to do a select node. We don't want to do select name. That gives you two options. If we, however, do a select and then go to this very bottom one, it looks like two options, but we can add as many pins as we need. So if we hook our weapon ID up to here, now you can see pistol, rifle, shotgun, sniper. It has all of them already there for us. Let me move this back a little bit. So for the most part, in the last one, it seemed like the rifle socket worked for most of them except the pistol. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this all to rifle underscore socket. I'm going to copy that and then paste it in everywhere except for the pistol. For that one, it's going to be pistol underscore socket. I apologize for that. That threw me off too. Get out of here. So you might think we don't have sockets like this yet, but that's where we can go ahead and establish them. So let's highlight our mesh, double click to open up the body right here, and then under the preview scene settings we can set them into whatever animation we need under this preview controller. So we will use a specific animation, and under here we'll just punch in idle, and we should be able to find all the difference. Yeah, so we got idle pistol, idle rifle, hip. Let's go with the rifle first. And we'll just back it up all the way to the beginning. And then since he will be holding the rifle with his right hand, we'll find the right hand socket, right hand bone, and from there we can right click it and add a socket. F2 will let us rename it to rifle underscore socket. Then if we right click it again, we can add a preview asset, and I want to make it work with my assault rifle, so here's that. And then it's just a matter of lining it up. So standard movement, rotation, etc., etc. You want to make sure you're on the rifle socket and not the hand, because if you try to move the hand, then it all moves. So make sure you're on the rifle socket, and then we'll move it into place. Move it down, move it forward, move it up, move it back, move it down. Okay. Well, it doesn't have to be perfect. This it's kind of, you would want more custom fit things, but you know, tutorial. You're learning. We're good. And it looks like he's angled off a little bit. If you're very curious about what you can do a top-down look at it. Actually, it looks semi-decent. I'm going to disable the snapping to the rotation and just kind of like that. So over here is your perspectives, and you got orthographic. Oh, that's creepy. That's left? Why is that left? There's the front. And then you can just kind of arrange it. It gives you more of a 2D kind of image, so you can get a better sense about scale and everything. Or not scale, but its settings. That'll work for now. So that is our rifle socket. But what you'll notice is if we right click, remove all attached assets, right click, and we'll add in pistol. Of course it looks weird because of the animation he's in, but if we change that to pistol, it's close, but it needs just a little bit of adjustment. I mean, you could make it work. It'd probably be fine. But let's just go ahead and add one more socket, and this one will be our pistol underscore socket. So let's get rid of this first, so we'll remove all attached assets. Then with the pistol socket selected, add preview asset. This will be our pistol. Now you can do this for swords, whatever kind of weapons that your character's gonna have, and all that jazz. You could even just duplicate this one and rename it. That way it's already... Oh, what happened? Don't hold shift when you're doing this. Do not hold shift. So there's Precious, no. Might have to cut this one short. We got a husky. She's vocal. So let's just quickly run through the rest of this. So we will promote this to a variable that will be our weapon ref, and then we will attach actor to component of our mesh, and then we can just take this, copy it over to here to get the socket that we want to attach it at, and then from here we can also get that weapon info struct, break it, and use it just like we did over there. We want to set the location rule to snap to target. Oh, snap, snap. And then we'll go ahead and just set up a quick function. Gonna have to set this one short. So on Q, we will spawn weapon. For now, we also need to give us some weapons. So we'll just throw in here a pistol at the moment. And it's just in his hand. We'll set up the animation soon. But if I jump back out here, and I change this over to the rifle. Then now he's got a rifle in his hand, etc. In the next one, we will set up the animation state in order to get him actually reflecting which one he's got in his hand. So I will see y'all shortly. Bye.